Nothing is bad in our relationship. I just don't feel the same as I did when we got together. Calling her just feels like a chore. Does anything that seem like makes me look like an asshole. So it doesn't matter what you look like or don't look like. I don't think that's really relevant in a relationship. What I break it down to in general, in relationships where the man is now not feeling disinterested in relationships. From my experience, what's happening is that you typically, I've gotten into a relationship that you're either friend zoned off the get-go and you started the relationship as a friend, or you gradually became partners, right? And that typically is created by the fact that you didn't show up and create polarity in the relationship. In other words, you didn't show up as a man in the relationship. And then the contrary part to this is the woman, as most women are taking a much more masculine role in life in general. And so there's no polarity in the relationship. And what's happening is that she's not expressing herself in an emotional sense. In other words, she's not showing her need for you. In other words, you're just buddies, right? And what happens also is we live in a society where everything's pretty much taken care of for women. You live in the town, right? She has a place to go to. Everything's very, very secure. And so for her need for you is actually, other than friendship, is not really there, right? And so you've basically gotten to friend zone that relationship, and there's no polarity. There's no reason for her really needing you other than for friendship purposes. And so you're probably a comfort for her and giving her some sense of satisfaction. But the reason why it feels like it's kind of dead is because it is dead, right? You could just go be friends with anybody at that point in time. The point I would say to you is that you have not identified your purpose in life, right? And I would just spend more time figuring out what your purpose in life is beyond your girlfriend. Part of the struggle is a lot of guys that don't have no purpose, right? And so what you'll find is that once you find your purpose in life, the women that will encircle you, find you very attractive, will also have a dynamic to themselves that will build a different attraction than you currently have. So if she's the right girl or not, I don't really think is the question. I think the question is do you have enough purpose in your life? And are you showing up in a way that creates polarity, which I've talked to in other videos so you can go watch, talking about polarity. And do you have a heart connection? In other words, when challenges, you don't argue, it says, but when things come up, do you express to her what your needs are, right? Are you clear on your needs? Is she expressing to you what her needs are? Are you communicating at a heart level so you got clarity on that? And basically what most relationships, break down most relationships is A, the polarity, and B, getting the fact that you have a heart connection. If you want to go a little deeper, are you guys meeting each other's love language? I mean, there's a third one for you, but that's basically what the issue is. And it's an issue amongst a lot of our culture nowadays when we live in a very safe culture and we don't do things that really is of purpose or on purpose. We live in relationships that are partners. And so quite often we get a dog or a cat to share our love with because it's more important for us to share our love with something that's going to be affectionate and share love back towards us instead of figuring out our own crap. So get purpose in your life, show up as a man, and the right women will come along your journey with you. That's my answer.